Welcome along, I'm John McCormack, and today I will be talking about firefighting, so when your SQL Server is in big trouble. So we're not just talking about the odd slow query here, we're talking about things that are really just not working well at all, and everyone's jumping on you to find out what the problem is, how quickly can you resolve it. They want it resolved really quickly, and the pressure is on. So one of the first things is pretty obvious, but it is worth saying that you should stay calm. You can only do one thing at a time. And it's important that you're calm and have an approach um, that you know will help you, hopefully, get to the root of the problem. It's important that you find out how bad it is. Now, is it the case is that you can't even connect to the SQL Server, in which case, you're completely down? Is it that maybe an application is down? People are saying that they can't log data in the application, or they can't view data in the application. Is it just a bit slower than usual? When people say, "Oh, the system's on a go slow," you might hear. Um, or is it just really the odd thing that's slow, but it's kind of slow all the time anyway, so it's not particularly out of the ordinary. So that's kind of what we need to identify. And the scenario I'm going to go through today is what I call a priority two. So it's a pretty major incident, but the server is online. So there's something SQL Server based that is causing the issue here, and we need to get to the bottom of it. Now, in these circumstances, and in the circumstance of a complete outage as well, I would recommend, if you have the luxury of having a colleague, a co-worker in the DBA team or similar, that they handle the communications for you, because what happens so often is that you're trying to actually get to the root of the problem, fix the issue in hand, but and at the same time, the management, the end users, customers, everyone is basically on trying to find out what the problem is, when will it be resolved, what have you found out so far, and trying to keep up with those communications to keep those people happy and at bay whilst actually still trying to solve the problem in hand is often too much. So if you've got someone that you can communicate with, it was back in the old pre-COVID days when we had the luxury of sitting in offices near each other, you could just maybe have like a verbal communication with someone. Can you let them know this or that? In this remote working times, it might be good to have just like a speakerphone call open or a Teams call, one where you don't feel obliged that you have to speak all the time. The dead air is okay. But when you've got something to say, you can just say it. The other person is there, and they can update the stakeholders appropriately. It's important that you've got some pre-practiced scripts, like a well-established routine that you're going through. So it helps to have done this time and time again when you're not in the emergency situation, so that you know what you're looking for, how the scripts that you run work, and what information they give you back, and whether or not they're going to be of any use in this scenario. And then you probably want to look at the calm after the storm, as I call it. So once things are back to normal, the end users can use the application. You want to find out what steps you can take in order to prevent such a serious incident from happening again. So let's go through a couple of demos here. Just looking at SQL Server Management Studio, we'll pop in there and see how we would handle it.